Hello, I'm Mayor Brad Pike. Welcome to the Explore Eagle podcast, where you can learn more about our city of Eagle and our community. Hi everybody, I'm Brad Pike, your mayor for the city of Eagle, and today we have a special guest with us for our podcast with the sewer district is General Manager Neil Jenkins. Welcome, Neil.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
And you're one of 10, sometimes 11 taxing districts that the public pays their due taxes to. And let's talk a little bit about that and what where their tax dollars actually goes for the sewer district.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to come and chat with you and the residents. So Eagle Sewer District was formed in 1963. A group of the neighbors got together and said, we need to solve the sewer problem. So the sewer district was then formed by a vote of the people. And so the sewer district is a separate special use district per Idaho code. So we get our operating authority from Idaho Code, Chapter 42, Section 32. And so we were incorporated long before the city. You young punks over at the city, right, are 8 years younger than us. We turned 60 late last year. And we're the only centralized sewer collection and treatment services in the city of Eagle.
That's kind of alluding to what the sewer district actually does and who it is, but what are you not? A lot of the public gets confused on what the sewer district does and does not do for the citizens. Can you elaborate a little bit on that part?
Yes, thank you. So the sewer district is the only centralized collection and treatment system for all the used water. So in broad terms, we collect all the used water from the homes in this Eagle area, and we take all that water down to our treatment plant where we clean it up most of the way, and then we have a partnership with the city of Boise where they clean the water the rest of the way for us under contract, and then discharge the water to the south channel of the Boise River, where then it comes floating right back on by. So we deal with water, and we do it really well. We're not an irrigation district. We're not the trash folks. We're not the City of Eagle wastewater department, because there isn't one. We're not Avamore. They have their own private sewer system. We're not recycling. We're not a lot of those things. The surrounding municipalities all have their own wastewater systems as well. So for Eagle, we're the folks who deal with the used water and clean it up so it can be used again in the environment.
As far as the district boundaries, it's not just the city limits. It's a little bit broader. Can you elaborate just a little bit on actually where the boundaries are in a geographical area?
Yeah, so Eagle Sewer District isn't beholden to Eagle city limits. So there are some places inside city limits where we don't have pipes in the street. And on the other hand, there are also parts in the county where we provide sewer service. So we're not beholden to city limits. One thing that may be interesting to folks is when we talk about the Spring Valley or Valnova development, the developer's currently building a collection system, all those pipes and manholes in the street, as well as then a treatment plant, that when it's completed, they will give it to Eagle Sewer District to own and operate from there on out. They will be two separate systems. The plan for the Spring Valley Valnova system is to be a complete reuse system. So we'll take the water down to the treatment plant, clean it up, and then reuse it for irrigation throughout the development. So kind of interesting, something folks may find interesting. Two separate systems.
How do our rates compare with other municipalities within the city?
So our sewer rates are made up of two different parts, both our monthly rates as well as then our one-time connection fees when folks join the system. So when it comes to the monthly sewer rates, our rates are on the lower end of all the neighbors. Our connection fee, which is that one-time buy-in to the $75 million worth of infrastructure that we've been building these last 60 years, that's at $5,500 currently. And that's in that kind of upper middle end compared to all of the neighbors.
As far as the tax dollars themselves within the Eagle Sewer District, what does that accomplish versus their monthly sewer bill?
Yeah, good question. So the monthly sewer rates are about 80% of our revenue. 20% of our revenue is then those one-time connection fees, and those change in any given year, but it's roughly about 20%. We have about 2% of our revenue that comes from property taxes and sales taxes. So it's a very small percentage. What we use that small percentage of revenue for is to cover our liability insurance and our other insurances like that. Because the day that things go sideways and folks stop paying their sewer bill, we still need to maintain insurance in case there are fires, floods, other disasters. We'll need to remain in service. And so we take that money and specifically earmark the property taxes side of it for those insurances.
What's the current area of focus that you guys do?
So we've been working on our 20-year plan, recently just wrapped it up in order to ask the patrons, what is it that we're doing well? What do we need to work on as far as service goes? And then thinking too, the biggest thing is, where do we want the water to go? It's been fascinating in this last year as we've been asking our patrons and ratepayers where they like to see the water go, that folks have really keyed on water as a resource rather than saying it's used water that needs cleaned and disposed of. Folks are thinking more and more of it as a resource that needs to be used and reused. And so with the patrons' feedback and our 5-member elected board's support as well, we're moving towards reusing the water for irrigation as a next step. So we're starting down that path of investments to be able to reuse the water.
And I'm encouraged by that, and as your liaison the last year or so, it was in the infancy stages of questionnaire and the determination of where that was going. So I was encouraged to see that you guys were actually looking at irrigation and the reuse and reclaiming of it for some of the other needs in the community. So I thought that was a pretty good direction that you guys were heading, and I'm glad to see that's happening. In terms of how many collections and treatment systems and facilities are in Eagle, or does Eagle Sewer District utilize, how much of that water do we treat daily?
So Eagle Sewer District has about 200 miles of pipe, about 5,200 manholes in the street, and about 12 different lift stations. We love gravity. It works really well all day, every day, but sometimes you're downhill and you need the water to go uphill. So we have about 12 lift stations in order to pump the water uphill. All that water then goes to our treatment plant that can process about 2.5 million gallons a day is about where we are. That's a football field about 7.5 feet deep every day. And as you can imagine, there's no such thing as a no flush order, so things must work.
Mm-hmm.
So we work very hard to have reliable and cost-effective, affordable sewer rates.
And you just alluded to the fact that there's opportunities for the reuse of water safely, but could we talk about a little bit about the safety part of it and how you kind of filtrate out that need, and not to get too much into the science, but it's just not a simple go through a filter. There's a lot of components there within the treatment plant itself that some people might find interesting. I did.
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting to take all of the used water, whether it's baths or showers or restaurants or car washes or whatever type of industry and commercial, take all that water, blend it together, and clean it well enough. We use naturally occurring bacteria after we get all the trash and stuff that never should have been in the sewer, right? We take out all the trash and sand and gravel, and we use naturally occurring bacteria in order to clean the water. So after a while, then we have water and we have bacteria. We take the bacteria out and we're left with water. Or water that's pretty clean. At this point, that's what our treatment system can do. We're looking to add additional processes in the future to, instead of sending the water to Boise, be able to do that at the Eagle Sewer District treatment plant in order to then clean the water that little bit better, disinfect it so that it kills all the viruses and pathogens that make folks sick, right? And then be able to reuse the water. So the water that would be going to the canal is called Class A reuse water. It's regulated by the Department of Environmental Quality and has a specific quality that Class A has to adhere to in order to be considered Class A to be used for reuse. And that's where we're headed. So it's essentially cleaner than the river water when it comes to the viruses and pathogens and all those things that could make folks sick. So if you're comfortable recreating in the Boise River, you'd definitely be comfortable with whatever water we put in the canal.
And of course, conservation is always on everybody's mind. You did a little campaign not too long ago with our little rubberized toilets. Can you elaborate a little bit on that and what that entailed and what the purpose was behind that?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I know that you already have a couple of these, but I'll give you one more ceremonial toilet right there. There are a couple different things that really wreak havoc on our system, make things challenging, as well as then ways that folks can keep the bill low. And the first is we've created these little toilets that say don't flush wipes. Wipes might say that they're flushable, they might say that they're not flushable, but they, whether they're flushable or not, they get stuck in the pipes. They get stuck in the pipes at your house or in our pipes in the street. They make a big mess. And we recently completed an upgrade in the last couple of months to improve the screening process at the treatment plant, to take out all the stuff that never should have been in the sewer, including the majority of them being wipes. So about $500,000 we spent in order to then take these wipes out of the system. Now, if that's what we want to spend our collective money on, I suppose that's fine, but even better than that would be not putting wipes in the sewer will keep your pipes from being clogged and will avoid some of these costly investments. Another thing is keeping grease out of the system.
Yeah.
Please do not take grease and oil and dump it down the drain. Folks say, well, if you turn the hot water on, then it's all good. Well, that's only good until the water cools. It probably gets, into your front yard before then the grease congeals, and then get some wipes in there and you make a great big clog. A big mess. Again, we spend a lot of money every year trying to take grease out of the system. So let's keep our bills low by working together and keeping wipes and keeping grease out of the system.
And of course, if they have any questions, how do they contact you guys? What's your medium opportunities for them to reach out? And how can they just ask a simple question to you?
Yeah, certainly. Our website is full of a lot of good information, eaglesewer.org. You're more than welcome to come into the office where we have displays and brochures and information about who we are and what we do. If you're really interested, you're more than welcome to also come as HOAs, families, friends, etc. Have a field trip. Come out to our treatment plant. Give us a call, and let's set up a time to go out to the treatment plant. I've yet to meet anyone who doesn't come to the treatment plant that doesn't say, whoa, that's gross, and whoa, that's cool. Because it is both a little bit gross, and the final product is really pretty cool, how we take used water, clean it up so that we can use it again.
Awesome. So in wrapping this up though, Neil, is there anything out there that you've already conveyed some of the desires that you have from the sewer district? Is there anything else you think the public really needs to focus on to help improve their own system and keep the rates down?
Those are the main things. Really pay attention to the water that you use. Water conservation is very important. It'll be cheaper for you on your water bill, as well as keeping rates low for everyone. And let's use our used water system not as a trash can. Keep trash out, and it'll keep the rates low for all of us that Eagle Sewer District will be running.
Awesome. Well, Neil, again, I appreciate your time and your busy schedule and updating the public on actually what their sewer district's all about. Thanks for coming.
Yep, thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Well, today we have the opportunity to come out to our sewer district plant, and Neil's our director here. And Neil, thanks for having us out, and maybe you could show us what's going on with your plant here.
Mr. Mayor, it's a pleasure to have you at the Eagle Sewer District wastewater treatment plant today. I'd like to show you how we clean up all of the used water from the city and all of its different processes. When you'll mostly see us out in the streets of Eagle, you'll mostly see us in trucks like this. And what these trucks do, this is one of our sewer cleaning trucks. Just like going to the dentist to get your teeth cleaned, we need to clean all the pipes so that the water continues to flow nice and clear. Now, there are some things that you can do so that the cleaning goes better, and so that water can flow better. And the number one thing is no grease and no wipes. Grease is sticky when it gets cold, so it's a real pain to have to use a truck like this to clean out all the pipes and then suck out all the debris and trash and everything. So keep trash out of the sewer, keep grease out of the sewer, and normally you'll see us out here for only a couple minutes. We try to do the whole service area once every 3 years. So you'll see us in your neighborhood. We'll be pulling the manholes in the middle of the street. We'll be cleaning all the pipes, and then we'll move on. You see this hose reel, and this is the nozzle that we'll put down in the manholes and then through all the pipes, and that spins and cleans out the pipes really well. What we have is a camera van. We have this high-tech camera that we can take down, and it's on a rover, on a robot, that'll run through all the pipes, and it'll take video footage so that we can see if there are any rocks or any cracks or any tree roots, anything that we need to fix. Here we are at the headworks, and this is where all the water comes together. and begins its journey through the treatment processes to get all cleaned up. Now we're in the basement of the headworks building is what it's called. And these are influent pumps. So these pumps will take the water as everything is flowed by gravity down to this point. We're down in the basement, so then we can pump the water up to the top of the building. So this influent pumping system is what takes all the water from way down low up into the top of the headworks. And the next step that you'll see in the treatment process is where we take out all the trash, all the debris, all the stuff that never should have been in the sewer in the first place. Comes into this spot, and it's kind of gross. We take all this trash and everything out, clean it up, and then take it to the Ada County landfill for disposal. Here we are in the blower building, and this is where we produce all the air that we need to grow the naturally occurring bacteria that then clean up all the waste in the water. Mr. Mayor, all of the used water from all of the toilets, sinks, showers, restaurants, all of that comes right here to our treatment plant. And so what we do in these great big ponds is we grow naturally occurring bacteria. We provide them with the oxygen that they need in order to then consume all of that waste. They take all of your shower water, all of your dishwater, all of your everything, and they consume all that waste. They clean it up. Like I said, naturally occurring bacteria, so it's not like we're adding anything new into the environment. This is Mother Nature at work in a controlled environment, so we can get a lot of work done in a small area. So water comes in here, we provide lots of good oxygen for it. The bacteria then eat a whole bunch of the waste. So by the end of this treatment process right here, we have bacteria and we have water is what we have left. So then we settle out the bacteria so that what we have really is water and the bacteria that have really done all the work. So what you see behind you, this is a pilot unit for a cloth disc filter. So what you won't see when you climb the ladder and look at it, Mr. Mayor, is what you won't see is that inside this unit, there are 12 different discs where the water filters through carpet. You know how much dirt carpet picks up? Well, we're using that exact same technology to then filter out all of the particulate matter in the water so that it comes out a whole lot cleaner. So go ahead, Mr. Mayor, climb the ladder. What you'll see on the right side is the water before it's been filtered. On the left is the clean water after it's come out. And down here going back into the pond is all the reject water. There's all of the solids that we've taken out. This has an automatic vacuum system to vacuum the carpet. So what you'll see, this is the dirty water side or unfiltered side. This is the filtered side after it's gone through the carpet, and it's very specific engineered carpet with a very specific pore size. And then when the carpet gets dirty, we have automatic vacuum system that then takes the solids back and puts them in the treatment system again. So yeah, that backwash stream, that's where all the solids go back in the pond. So Mr. Mayor, what you have here is the cleanliness of the water before it goes to this filtration unit. So if you look at it, there's still a little bit of stuff in there, but compared to what was coming in at the headworks we saw first, this is really, really quite clean. But this is before it was filtered. Now let me show you what happens after we filter it. Here, if you want to hold that one, we'll put them side by side to compare. Look at that one. After we filtered it, look how much cleaner the water is. This is a 2-micron filtered effluent, and there is a big, big difference between unfiltered and what we expect to have for water quality before we put it in the ditch.
Neil, I'd just like to thank you for allowing us to come out on your busy schedule and showing us the sewer treatment plant here and helping the citizens know exactly where their tax dollars go for the sewer district. Appreciate that. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Explore Eagle Podcast, and I appreciate the opportunity to serve you as the Mayor of Eagle. If you have any topics you would like us to discuss on the podcast, please email us at pio@cityofeagle.org.